Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Arjun Bopanna from Mentors for IAS. In this video, let me discuss with you all one of the very important section of anthropology for UPSC mains, that is physical evolution. And very often students don't have clarity, they are confused, and therefore they answer wrongly in the examination. And to address that, let me give you very briefly about the story of human evolution. So this starts about 6 to 7 million years ago when our ancestors split from the other primate ancestors, that is ancestor of chimpanzee and bonobos, and human ancestor. They split at around 6 to 7 million years ago. So one of the branches of this split gave rise to a genus called as Ardipithecus. The species includes Ardipithecus, Ramidus, and others. Now, Ardipithecus in turn gave rise to Australopithecus, genus Australopithecus. Now, you need to understand and appreciate that genus Australopithecus is different from genus Homo. So, modern man, we are genus Homo. We belong to genus Homo, and the forerunner of genus Homo is genus Australopithecus. Now, why is it important for us to know genus Australopithecus and its species, subspecies, which includes 6 species? So, the reason why we need to know about Australopithecus is because Australopithecus is the first genus, first species to walk on 2 legs habitually. That is, they were adapted to bipedal. So they left arboreal living and they started to walk on the ground. So therefore, some of the important changes that we see in Australopithecus, which differentiates them from the other primates, includes changes in the pelvis, changes in the vertebral column appeared in Australopithecus. So these are evidences to show that they were adapted to bipedal gait. Then we also study about the arches of Australopithecus, which was adapted, arches in the foot that was adapted to bipedal gait. So these arches, the foot arches, have been well preserved actually in the footprints of Leotelli man in Tanzania. So these crucial evidences point towards how they were adapted to bipedal, they were different from the other primates. Now, Australopithecus give rise to 3 branches. So you have subspecies which includes gracile robustus, Australopithecus, gracile, Australopithecus robustus, Africanus, etc. So there were 6 species which branched into 3 branches. The 2 branch was the dead end which became extinct. One of the branch, they gave rise to Homo habilis. Now, Homo habilis, how is it different from that of Australopithecus? Homo habilis invented tool. So they started to use tool, that is old one tools, what we call. Now, these tools led to increase in the brain size. So the cranial capacity of Homo habilis was much bigger when compared to that of Australopithecus. They were bipedal. In addition to that, their hand anatomy, their brain, and in turn, the facial characteristics started to change when compared to that of Australopithecus. Homo habilis, because they started to use tool, their jaw size also started to reduce. Now, Homo habilis, however, was still confined to Africa, like Australopithecus. The next species was Homo erectus. Now, Homo erectus is important because they were the first to invent fire. They used fire to keep themselves warm. So therefore, now they were able to spread outside Africa. They left Africa, they moved north and started to occupy colder region. So they came up to even Asia, Southeast Asia. So we have fossils of Homo erectus found in Java, found in Indonesia, Java, in China. So Homo erectus was the first species that left Africa and occupied different parts of the world. So we have various subspecies that were found in different parts, like Homo erectus erectus, Homo erectus ergaster, Homo erectus pekinensis, etc. Now, Homo erectus then, in turn, later started to adapt to the regional environment. So different species started to emerge in different parts of the world. Now, scientists have not put all of them into one single species. Rather, they are characterized by different adaptive responses. So, therefore, scientists today put all these regional variants into what we call it as archaic Homo sapiens. So, after Australopithecus is Homo habilis, after Homo habilis is erectus, and after erectus, you have archaic Homo sapiens. Now, archaic Homo sapiens have several species like Heidelberg man that were found in Europe. You have Narmada man, which was found in India. We have Dali man, we have Kabwe man, like that. We have different species that developed in different parts of the world who are adapted to these regional environmental conditions. So some of their characteristics were archaic, some of their characteristics were advanced. So we don't put them under erectus, we don't put them under Homo sapiens. So we put them under a transitional form which is called as archaic Homo sapiens. Now, the archaic Homo sapiens in Europe, they developed into Homo sapiens Neanderthal. Okay, it is a subspecies of modern man, Homo sapiens. This Neanderthal were robust and they were adapted to cold European climate. Whereas in other parts of the world, we don't see Neanderthal. Neanderthals were mainly confined to the Europe, the temperate region, cold, ice-covered environment. Now, the Homo erectus and the transitional form or the archaic Homo sapien in Africa, this is said to have emerged or it has developed into modern man, Homo sapiens sapiens, around 300,000 years. So, the modern man, that is Homo sapiens sapiens, emerged first in Africa around 300,000 years, and from there it left Africa for the second time. So, that's a second species to leave Africa and started to occupy different parts of the world, replacing the Neanderthals and other archaic Homo sapiens. So, this is how modern man, that is Homo sapiens sapiens, came into existence. These are the different species you need to appreciate. So, as humans evolved, their brain size increased, the forehead started to appear, the face became flat, the jaw became small, the zygomatic arch and other parts of the skull became much more smaller. The pelvic changes, the humerus, etc. Humans became taller, their hand anatomy changed, their foot anatomy changed. So all these happened gradually from about 6 million years to about 300,000 years. These changes we can see happening. So this we need to appreciate. This is a basic story that you need to appreciate. And within that, we need to also study the characteristic of Australopithecus, characteristic of Homo habilis, erectus, or various archaic Homo sapiens or Neanderthal, etc. So specific characters, specific changes, where they were found, what kind of culture or tools did they use, all these things are also very important for you to appreciate. Now, I have told you a very brief outcome, story of how humans have evolved. If you need more details, I have my book on physical evolution. So this book covers different topics of human evolution, and we have got several diagrams. If I show some of the diagrams over here, so like this, we have diagrams which will help you to appreciate the major changes that have happened in humans with the map representation, etc. General characteristics. Diagrams like this are very important for you to appreciate the topic, as well as if you draw them in your examination, you will be scoring really good marks. It looks like it is difficult, it may be challenging in the beginning, but if you get the right guidance and get a proper orientation in the beginning, then any kind of question that is asked on this particular topic, you will be able to master, right? If you need any help with respect to classes, I will be starting the crash course on anthropology after prelims, which will cover all the topics from the UPSC mains syllabus in a very comprehensive manner, along with materials. It's a 7-part material that you will be getting. So we will try to cover this as a crash course in 30 days after prelims. If you are interested, don't forget to register now so that we can cover entire anthropology in 30 days, master it, and make sure you score really high marks in your mains. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day, guys.